My name is Professor Francis Nnamdi Ikwuegbu. I'm from Anambra State, and I am a sculptor, even from birth. I finished from Institute of Management and Technology in Enugu. That was around 1989. Then I proceeded for my BA, bachelor's degree, at University of Benin. Although there at the University of Benin, they know me as coal miner, pretty because of the kind of project I did there, a coal miner at University of Benin, the Kema campus. So presently, I'm a lecturer at Imo State University, Owerri, Fine and Apply Arts Department, and I'm the head of sculpture. Because of my background, I started very early as an artist. I started as a blacksmith. I did the foundry practice because it's in our tradition, it's in my kindred. Most of us are called the Ozo people. Nkanozo mean the blacksmith. So I started as a child as a blacksmith. Then I continued to make tools, drums for different people, for different purposes. And later, I started making masquerades. I made over 950 masks and 2,500 masquerades in Anambra State. Some people call me the masquerade builder. And I didn't stop up there. I'm a traditional wood carver. I make deities, then I made masquerades. But my father, as a Christian, never wanted me to continue making deities. As a result of that, it appears I lost interest and customers in that area. But later, when I tried to join my folk in the academia by going to school to study, that was why somebody recommended me a friend, Mr. Peter Okoye. He now said, because of what I'm doing, I need to go to school. He helped me to secure admission at Enugu Institute of Management and Technology, Enugu. Then I met sculptor Ochi. Ochi mentored me. I worked under him. He made me to teach HND wood carving, traditional wood carving. I never stopped at that. I continued, headed for University of Benin, where I got my bachelor's. From there, I started to add more feathers to my cap. That was what motivated me to go to University of Uyo to do my master MFA in sculpture too. So I continued. Then later in life, when the politics of having a PhD started in Nigeria, I searched for schools where I could learn more that would help me with my background. Then I decided to go for the same university, Faculty of Social Sciences, where I did PhD in anthropology, specializing in art and cultural anthropology. Then my PhD dissertation is on upper-sea wood carving. That is still on sculpture. Like I said, this Ikenga is a controversial topic for discussion by different scholars from the internet, all over the world, some anthropologists, some historians. People said a lot of things about Ikenga. Some talk about the philological meaning of Ikenga, the semiotics of Ikenga, and the origin of Ikenga. People like Jeffrey, Browdre, Odita, they have their own different versions of the origin of Ikenga. But I will tell you here, as a wood carver, as a deity carver that started from a very young age, that belongs to the guild of wood carvers in Anambra State, UK, in Anambra State, Idemili not local government area. I can tell you authoritatively that Ikenga is like an emperor god. The origin of Ikenga is not that it did not diffuse from Egypt to Igbo land. It started when might was right and applauded. In the past, according to our forefathers' stories, hand down from different guild leaders, the Ikenga originated as a result of a man that assisted his own community in the time of trouble. Like for instance, when the buffalo in the past, in this our Igbo area in the past, you can see we have huts, mud houses with thatch roofs. This buffalo might decide to destroy almost many buildings or human beings alike. Maybe it might be provoked or no animals when they enter the community, which they live in clusters, and a thing like that may happen. A brave man among them may come out to challenge the buffalo. The Igbo people call it Atu. Atu is a buffalo. At times it could be a lion or a leopard that came to harass people, to kill the villagers. A brave man will come to challenge that very lion or buffalo. And after slaying the lion or buffalo, the artist will be called to skin such animal. Maybe it could be the lion or leopard. You will see the skin, the way they will skin it. Then the artist will now remove the teeth of the lion or leopard to make pendants. And they will use it to make headgear. These are made to, they will use it to celebrate the bravery of that particular man that saved them in time of trouble. So they will gather in a village square and they will get a seat like this. If you look at it, a seat like this is called Ochenze. The man will get seated on that particular seat. Then the people will now come to decorate the victor with such headgear. Maybe he must have killed a buffalo in the past. They will now use the headgear, the skin, and the horn to make that headgear. And they will wear that person as a crown on that very day. They will now get the teeth, use it as a pendant on his neck. They will wear it in order to celebrate the person. Most of the time he will be given a name, Obuagu, Ebubedike, that in time of trouble, the Dike will be called to do what he knows how to do best to save his community. That's why you see most names bearing Ebubedike in Igbo. But if you look at this Ikenga, this particular Ikenga is the humanistic type of Ikenga. And the Ikenga, that seated man, as I was telling you, you might be holding the machete or any tool, maybe sharp stone in the past, the origin. He might be holding it, what he used in slaying the leopard or the buffalo. That is why you have this thing. That's why people attribute such symbols being held by Ikenga as a symbol of victory and success. Then this, again, because of that, in time of trouble, because the entire Africa is known for animism, that is, they believe that both living and non-living things, they have souls, indwelling souls. That's why some people criticize the Africans as being polytheist in nature, that they have so many gods. So that in time of trouble, they will invoke, the community will ask the woodcarver to represent the image of that warrior, the deacon that saved them. That is the origin of Ikenga. And when they have that Ikenga, it helps to remind them of that spirit, and it helps to motivate warriors that will go for any war. They feel that with that spirit of that man backing them, which is now in an image form, they are surely going to get victory. The door is called Azu. This Azu is an Igbo door. You can find this Azu in the house type of the Igbo man called Obi or Obu. In that Obu, that section that is meant for the owner of the Obi, it's called the section for the deity, where the Ikenga, the one I talked about before, stays. In every Ikenga, there must be a door like this behind the Ikenga. It's called Okundichie. That is where the spirits and the ancestors, their dwelling place in every Obi. That is a place where a man that what is sought says his morning prayer with a kola nut, looking at the Ikenga, talking about Chukwu, the God, the creator, asking for his protection and safety for both himself and his entire family. So that Ikenga, as the man is praying with the kola nut, the Ikenga is by the Okundi chair, that is the abode of the ancestors, with this door called Azu forming the background. Azu could be found too also as a doorpost, the entrance for any titled man. A traditional table originally made as a memorabilia to remember what our ancestors did in the past. A kind of restoration. We are trying to restore, revive all those emblems, all those symbols that is peculiar with the Igbo man, that makes the Igbo man tick, that makes the Igbo man stand tall among others. So it's like a crusade. We are trying to go back, to look inward in our past, then to look at these things done by our ancestors, the ancient wood carvers. As you look at this, the surface of this table, you can see it's another type of Azu, like the one we discussed previously. The Azu we use it for the surface, for the table surface. This will help to remind us of our past. And if you look at the Azu, you will see the different emblems that means a lot to the Igbo man. The emblems that contains different psychic forces that help to define our cosmology and cosmogony. This very table, as you can see, if I lift it this way, look at one of the legs, you see the Ikenga, different forms of Ikenga. You can look at it. The Ikenga holding a staff. That staff is called Ngwogaliga. The symbol of justice and righteousness is called Ngwogaliga. Some people call it Alo. It's still the same thing. You can call it Alo, or you call it Ngwogaliga. The Ngwogaliga, Ogaliga means wealth. Those people holding Ogaliga is those affluents, people of the royal family, people that want themselves, more especially the Zenozo title holders. They hold Ngwogaliga if you are to speak for truth and this thing, and you know that you are a full-fledged Zenozo. Look at the staff. But here is wood, represented in wood because it's a wood carving. But the Igbos have the Ngwogaliga as metal, bronze, It's part of the bronze works they have, which most people have not actually recorded. Then if you look at different forms of utensil, they are made of the stool, the table. You look at it from this way, you can see the other types. Different ikenga are doing different things. This is part of the restoration of and revival of our cultural heritage. So that because nowadays, because of enculturation and acculturation, most of these things are difficult to come by. Look at this piece. It's a wood carving, a traditional saucer. You can find this kind of saucer in our palace, the Igbo palace, where you have the Igwe and the Ndichie in their obi, especially during the Ofala festivals in Igbo land. This saucer, if you look at here, you see the use of chords for this to embellish the receptacle. This way we have the kola nuts and the white chalk, nzu, which we use in serving our visitors. The kola nut is what the Igbo man used in saying prayers. The nzu chalk, white chalk, shows the purity of heart, the hospitality of the Igbo man when it has to do with their relationship with their visitors. Then if you look at the motifs used in carving this, you can see to show the royal symbols, the thing peculiar with the Igbo man, where they started in the past as what they use as their money exchange. Look at the cowrie shell as part of the motif. Look at the elephant tusk. Look at this. Look at this. You can see the elephant tusk used as motifs, balancing with the cowries. The cowrie represents wealth, and this one is affluence. The tusk is gotten from the elephant, which is one of the Igbo royal animals. You look at the receptacle. Here is where we keep the oje. This represents a kind of continuity for what we used to have. Initially, the Igbo used what we called ufu, a kola nut serving saucer. Ufu meaning that it means good reputation, that you think good about your visitor. That's the meaning of ufu. That's why you find it in some of the Igbo names. Ufo, Nwabufo, Ufoma. Nwabufo is that your child is something that stands to represent you when you must have gone. That's the meaning of Nwabufo. So if you look at some of the motifs used to represent the kola nut serving saucer, which is very, very important for the Igbo man, for hospitality. When you have a visitor, the first thing you do is to present a kola. And the visitor must look at what you have, what you are using to serve that kola. This is a kind of representation of that ufo. Then you can put the oji here, your kola nut here, or the nzu, whichever way. The oji can come this way, depending on the number of people that is your guest. Then look at the lid. As you look at it, you will now see it's a royal saucer for hospitality, used in serving kola to our visitors. These are part of the carving. If you look at the design here, you see it has to do with royalty, a kind of exchange we have in the past. After the Manila, after the cowrie shells, the Igbo started using the Manila. When they got to their Iron Age, they started using the Manila came after the cowrie shells, before the thing moved up to this present Naira notes. So this is part of what will help us to recover our past and our identity, and as well as our heritage. Look at the headline. Check it in relation. This headline to this one, down to the place. You have to take a look. And later you may raise the rock up to finish off what happens and work on this. Then you raise it and continue. That's what you are going to do. This one, you look at the hand. Remember this hand is holding the cup. Then you look at the relationship between the relationship down to the leg and back to the leg. And make sure you have to look at this proportion and function and check the length, comparing it with your own. Look at it. Don't try to get the face. You have to look at it. Remember what I told you. From here you check. This line says almost the length of what happens to from here to know that it will still go before you get it. But try to maintain that chord. You try to dramatize the work in the form of contrapunct. Remember later this can and the drape aside. Then that is good. Remember what I said. You have to make this form. And you see, if you check the relationship, the jaw is about the head, but here it's almost, that's why I told you it's wrong. The jaw, where it stops, is about this head. See that you have to. Still in line with what we are saying, the use of man-made castaways. This is just a matchstick. But I try to encourage them to use whatever they find in the environment as waste or castaways to express themselves. And you can see the expression of Igbo more mask using the matchstick. You can see the Igbo symbol, the Uje symbol. This is this work is done by Amadi Okechukwu, and it's one of the most successful work we have here. And a host of others. This is what we are talking about, how to expose our students to look around the environment and take care of the waste around them, using them for creativity, which will help to put some of those things in use. So that is why I have to show you some of this work from the students. These students we are talking about is just 200 level students. We're not even talking about the 400 level student, but this is just 200 level students. When we talk about introduction to sculpture, to tell them that sculpture is not only what you do with clay, do with other things, that as long as you can create form to express yourself, whether in 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional, to create form, you'll be talking about sculpture. So there is that universality in sculpture everywhere in the world. And like I said, this department, philosophy, especially the sculpture unit, is how to recover the Igbo past. All those things that Igbo people that are yet to be interpreted, so that they will be documented as part of the Africa reservoir of the Igbo artifacts. 200 level students. The use of matchstick. These are all found in our environment that the people dread the owl because the quick signifies danger. And that's why, because I gave them the freedom to choose, look inward and choose whatever they want. I want to see what they will use the waste, the man-made material, to do, what they will do with it. And you can see the outcome. If you look down, you see the one done by Ibe Emmanuel Chimereze. Ibe Emmanuel Chimereze, using matchstick to do one of the Igbo calabash. It's an interesting work too. If you look at the other side too, you see what they use the calabash to in relief sculpture, high relief sculpture. The cock, the hen, and the chick. You can see it done by the student. If you look at the wall inside this, you see different works done by the students with different materials. Some are using beads, some are combining it with toothpicks, whatever, to show you what I mean. You look at the other one, the weevil, find in our environment. You see the atta used as the background. This is called opesi in Igbo land. And I find it interesting that there is need for us to talk about this art piece, because most of the time in the internet, people misrepresent this piece. They call it Ikenga. They call it Ikenga, but it's not Ikenga, it's opesi. This is where most anthropologists like Herbert Cole and Simon Ottenberg and some of them that came to Nigeria in the past, they wanted to know about this form, this wood carving. They regard them as cult objects, and most information about them were not known till today. But here, this is called opesi in Igbo land. Some people, dialectical differences, they call it opposite. If you look at it, that is where the secret of the Igbo band lies. The symbols you find here, they are very, very interesting. Like, for instance, you look at this. You can see the marks here, the gorge, this thing. This mark you find here, some call it Uli design, Ichi marks. It's a kind of Ichi marks, but it's representing something. Wherever you find this very symbol, it's called Omuiru. Omuiru means good luck. Oma, good omen. Good luck for people. So the Igbo man, if you feel that you are not, your expectations are not always met by you in life, you seek the blessing of the traditional wood carvers. After inquiring from a diviner, you will be asked to provide Omuiru. After much rituals, it is believed that you will begin to have good luck in whatever you are doing. So it's not just art for art's sake, the way some people branded it. It's art for life. They do it. Wherever you see it or hear they mention it, you know what it means. It's the symbol of good luck. Then this symbol here you see that looks like coffin. coffin shape with a handle is called ufo. It's a kola nut serving saucer. You must not present a kola nut to your visitor without the ufo. It is called ufo in the sense that you use it, that is where it's a receptacle where you place the kola nut or the white chalk and even the alligator pepper inside this receptacle as ufo. It means that with the presence of white chalk, it means you have a pure heart. Then with the presence of the kola nut, before you give your visitor the kola nut, which you use in saying prayers for both of you, your heart must be pure. And you must be thinking good about the visitor. And that's why the meaning of ufo, good omen. So people use this as part of the Igbo emblems to invoke such psychic forces that helps to change some of those misfortunes we have in life. That's why in most of the Igbo ethics, you're expected to be doing good so that people will talk good of you. And that talking good of you implies good reputation. So that is the meaning of this symbol, ufo. Okay, let's look at another material we have here, the use of spoons for expression. So the student Christian Okafo by then, this is just a maquette for the bigger project. When he was doing his project, I have to get a live cork and use the welding machine to put the forms together, to study the live cork. As we go outside the sculpture garden, you see the bigger part of it, because this is just a maquette. So here, students are exposed to different materials, mediums and media. The finished project. I told you about the maquette. In the studio now is the big cup made of spoon, done by Okafo Christian. Look at this material.